I think the last time I had Blue Moon, honestly, was I got really sick because it was the U.S. Men's National World Cup game. But I drank like 3 Blue Moons, and then I was like, I should probably switch off a Blue Moon now, because I don't know if I've ever talked about it on this podcast, but I'm allergic to hops, so I can only have like so much beer before I get like sick off of it.
Yeah, I like how we always start it off with.
Yeah, with a beer that I'm technically
like,
allergic to. I think it's an intolerance, not an allergy, so I should be okay.
Yeah.
But I had like 3 watching that game, and then my friend like just came back and he's like, "Here, I got you another Blue Moon," because that's what I've been drinking all day. And I was like, in my head, I was like, "Oh, I was gonna switch off a Blue Moon now," but I was like, "Ah, you got it for me. I'll drink it." And I drank it, and I got to the end of it, and I was like, "That's not gonna end well." All right, welcome back to Hawks Off Melrose. I'm Drew.
I'm Jeremy.
We're going to talk about the bowl game. We got a little bowl outlook, and then just a little bit of college football in general. A lot has happened in the college football world in the last like week and a half.
Yeah.
Like a lot. I honestly think most of this might not even be about Iowa because of how much has gone down in the rest of the college. I mean,
there's
world.
not too much to talk about with the Iowa game until we don't even know a lot of like the opt outs and all that. So.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah,
but if you did not know, which I'm assuming you do, we're back in the Outback Bowl
as we projected.
The ReliaQuest Bowl, which is the Outback Bowl,
up against Vanderbilt, which I'm excited about as an opponent.
Yeah.
That's a really fun opponent to get.
Especially like I hope Pavia plays.
Yeah, I really do.
Like
I don't know why he wouldn't. We talked about this a little earlier. Like he is projected to go potentially undrafted, like best like a late round pick or just like a preferred free agent kind of. There's no reason for him not to play this and try to pump his draft stock a little bit.
And he loves the start, like he loves to be all over like social media and stuff. So like he likes the attention. I think he'll play.
I would be shocked if he didn't. Yeah, and obviously we've talked about Pavia a few times this year because he is a kind of a Heisman frontrunner. The Heisman's pretty much decided at this point. Mendoza's probably going to win it after beating Ohio State in the Big Ten Championship. Pavia does have the second best odds now. They're like kind of crazy. Yeah, Mendoza's minus 4,000. Pavia's plus 1,400. But like a week and a half ago, I think he was like plus 600 and Pavia was like, Mendoza was like plus 200 or something.
Yeah.
He might have actually been behind Sand at that point still, but I mean, a top 3 Heisman runner.
Yeah.
Like he'll be at the Heisman Award.
Yeah. I don't think you'll see this type of thing happen very often where a team that gets, as they think, left out of the college football playoff.
Yeah.
A lot of times they're like that player who's like in the running for the Heisman isn't going to play in the bowl game.
Yeah.
But just
I think this is a rare case.
Yeah. And I think that makes it exciting.
I think it's also a rare case though, because the Heisman race is like kind of sucks this year.
Yeah.
I was talking to my friend Ari. We were talking about this like over Thanksgiving. We're like hanging out at my cousin's house. And he was like, they should just like, for the Heisman to be like as exclusive of an award as they want it to be, there should just be years where they say, no one's getting it this year. Like this should be a year where they just don't give it to anybody.
We don't think it's good enough.
like nobody did it. I think they should give it to Jacob Rodriguez, the Texas Tech linebacker. Just because, like,
hasn't he had like
he's had a really good game or year, and they put him in just as like, I can't tell if they did it as like a bit or not, but they put him in on like a couple of offensive snaps, and they said it was because they don't give defensive players Heisman accolades. Awesome. And I don't know if that's like genuinely them thinking him playing like 10 offensive snaps this year is actually going to get him in contention, or if they're just like doing it as a bit. Either way, it's funny.
It might be just a bit, to be honest. That's what they said.
Yeah, but he looks fantastic. You rarely see a defensive player get it. I don't know if I can remember the last defensive player who's won it. Has a defensive player ever won it? I guess.
I think so.
And like if there's a year to do it, it's this year. Like no one's like a standout front runner.
Yeah, Charles Woodson at Michigan in '97.
Okay. I mean, that was the last one was what, 30 years ago then?
Yeah, I think that's at least
the most recent one, if not the only one.
I mean, do you count this, Travis Hunter?
No, I don't count it. If he was just playing D-back, he wouldn't have won it.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Anyway, so Pavia, great year. He has 3,200 passing yards, 27 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Really good stats. Playing against a pretty decent schedule. Averaging 266 passing yards per game. He also has 826 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns, averaging 70 yards a game.
Dude's insane. Obviously, I want Iowa just to destroy him if he plays. But
he's
I do
also
really
like
like
26 though. Like
yeah, he's and then I think he's like trying to like get another year.
Is he really?
I don't know. It was just like the whole thing of like he was like arguing that I think it was him that was arguing that they should like get another year or something with the fact it's like NIL, like you make money off it, and I don't know how.
I mean, he already got the extra year. He's played 5 years because he has that court case that's pending.
Yeah, or maybe it was just
trying to make
that.
it so JUCO years don't count.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah, and so he got this year already as an extra
because
year
of that. Yeah.
And that they haven't even like made a ruling on that, but because of the way the court system works, I guess while that's in contention, like he's allowed to play. So like it could get overturned and he like it'd be illegal to play after like the JUCO thing not count, but he still gets to play this year because it's like still up for debate.
Okay, I'll say what if they came out with it like next week? They're like, yeah, no,
he
you can't
play the bowl game.
He can't play the bowl game.
That'd be crazy.
I'd be actually disappointed.
I would be too. Yeah.
I obviously want Iowa to win the bowl game and him not playing.
Yeah,
it gives them a huge advantage.
And I want to see Iowa against like a good Vanderbilt team, a team that had playoff aspirations. Like I want to see him against like the full team. I want to see him full strength.
Yeah.
Did you see that championship weekend they were putting out there that they were trying to play a 13th game?
I did see that. They're like trying to be like, oh, like we deserve to be in it because of this.
This was a crazy story because it gave it a crazy fact that I learned from this story. So if you're not familiar, Vanderbilt, they put out on like the Tuesday or the Wednesday before championship weekend that they had explored the possibility about playing an extra 13th game against, I think they were trying to get either like Miami. I think it was probably Miami.
Yeah.
Because two teams that are not in their conference championship but were like wanted to be in the playoff, basically saying that like, hey, if like Alabama and like BYU get a play this week and if they win they're gonna make the playoff, we should have a game where if we want to make the playoff, and they're like, we'll just play Miami, winner should make the playoff because like we're both bubble teams. And obviously the logic made sense.
Yeah.
It like logistically didn't pan out. So part of the reason is because apparently that is illegal under NCAA rules to play like a neutral 13th game unless it takes place not on the mainland USA and not in a foreign country. So they would have to play the game in Alaska, Hawaii, or a territory like Puerto Rico or the U.S.
That's
Virgin Islands
hilarious.
or something.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it would have to take place in one of those places to like. But apparently, like if it takes place in those places, it just counts. Like it is legal and it would count. Not that the committee would necessarily consider that.
See, I would have loved that to happen, and then one of those two teams got in, and Notre Dame would still just be like freaking the fuck out. Like,
yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that later because that is one of my favorite storylines of the week as well.
That's awesome. I mean, my thing is like you played in the SEC, so you have all the chances in the world to make the playoff.
Yeah.
If there's did SEC get 5 teams?
They got 5 teams in. Yeah.
If you're not a top 5 team in the SEC,
they had like 7 teams tied, or they had like 5 teams tied for like 4th through 7th or something.
But I mean, I know like you can argue with the committee, whatever. If you're not one of the top 5, you don't deserve to be. And I'm sorry.
It also is like. They lost to Alabama and they lost to Tennessee, who are 2 really good teams. Texas, yes. Yeah. Who are 2 really good teams. But, like, that's kind of what we talked about. Like, if the SEC plays that 9th game, like all the other conferences do, which I know that they're adding it. But, like, so many of there were, like, how many teams finished 10-2 in the SEC? There were, like, 4 or 5 teams that finished 10-2. And if you play a 9th game, some of that gets sorted out.
Yeah. I think it was before the last weeks because there's only 2 teams that are tied at 10-2.
Yeah, so Alabama was 10-2.
So because technically, like, so Alabama's 10-3.
Yeah, but they were 10-2
Texas is
before.
9-3. I don't feel bad for any of the SEC teams that didn't make it. Like,
agreed.
Like you already have an advantage over like every other conference because of
you got 5 teams in. And like
maybe Vanderbilt
the conference tiebreakers do suck, and the conference tiebreakers cost. But like again, just play that 9th game, and some of that works itself out.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at Vanderbilt's schedule, like I do understand the frustration of like, you lose to Alabama, even though they got killed, a top 10 team, and then you lose to Texas by 3.
Yeah, a close game against Texas.
So like, I do get it to be frustrated. You go 10-2, and I did see some things that were like, disrespectful towards Iowa, but they were like, oh, our best season of all time, and we get fucking number 23 Iowa.
Yeah, which that's another thing. That was like the one thing where I was like, okay, fuck you, Vanderbilt, because it's kind of on your side for this.
Like, no one cared about you until you guys got Pavia.
Yeah.
And you guys beat Alabama, like, was it last year?
I would love to go in there and fucking run them out of the stadium, because then I'm going to go and find all those like Reddit comments and tweets and be like, hey, fuck you too.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, oh, I like Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
You guys don't have any fans.
Then
like,
they were a little rude about it.
I was like, yeah. Like, I understand you thought you're going to be, you could have been in the playoff. You have an argument to be in the playoff. I'll admit that to you guys. Like, but yeah, don't be disrespectful towards us.
And I get like we do have 4 losses. So if you're just looking at our record, we probably look like a worse team. If you don't watch Iowa, we look like a worse team than we probably actually are. So like I don't know. I get it to a degree, but also like back the fuck off.
Yeah. Like if this was like Tennessee or Texas saying this, I'd be like, okay, I expect that from them. And I'm like, who are you? Like Vanderbilt, come on.
Very true. Very
if
true.
your best season ever is you're playing us when we go 8-4, like that's not really on us.
That's
like,
a great point. That's a really good point.
That's not really on us. Like I respect Vanderbilt, and I think what they've done is awesome. They've turned it around completely.
Yeah, very impressive.
Just don't be disrespectful.
They've flipped a couple of really big recruits. I think they flipped like that quarterback from Georgia, like a 4-star quarterback they have coming in next year. Like they're one of the teams that with NIL now actually has a lot of money and is probably going to continue to be a little competitive. But like it doesn't look like it's like this year bust for them. Like it looks like they might not be next year without Pavia, but like
they'll be better than they were the laughing stock of FCC.
They're going to maintain some status from now on, it seems like.
Kind of, talking about Pavia and if he's going to play in it or not. I'm pretty sure Iowa came out and they said that everyone's projected to play, right?
Yeah, I don't. That's what I was going to bring up is like I don't know about opt-outs, or we haven't really heard anything about transfers either, except for Stratton. Who I don't know if we talked about it last week, but Jackson Stratton entered the portal. Who
I think we did talk about it.
Yeah, won every game he started.
I mean,
I think he's the only player in the portal.
And he was our 4th string QB. So
yeah, it's not like it was expected to be honest. Signed a couple of good recruits. We got like a top 20 like recruiting class coming in this year. Like, and I don't think anybody's opted out at this point.
I'm pretty sure they came out and said that right now no one's projected to opt out.
The only person who would make sense to opt out is Jennings Dunker because he's already projected 1st round pick.
Yeah, I mean our offensive line, but all of them have been here for like a few years, so I can't imagine any of them are gonna.
The only one that like I said, the only one that would even make sense to opt out really is Jennings Dunker because like everyone else can only improve their draft stock.
Yeah.
So game it's 11 a.m. right? We mentioned it's 11 a.m. New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, 11 a.m. Central.
In Tampa Bay, baby.
In Tampa Bay. Lions currently Vandy -5.5. We are money line +172. I might take that,
Yeah.
Good
over under 40. I actually like that over under 46.5.
It honestly seems a little low for how offensive the team Vanderbilt is and like how we have when playing offensive teams been able to like keep up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is I have to take the over on that one.
Bet of the week.
Yep.
Take the over on Vanderbilt, Iowa.
I'm like, do I take this now? Like, do I go Iowa plus money, hoping that Pavia doesn't play?
That's a good point, actually. You take the plus money now, there's a chance he doesn't play, and at the worst, it's probably the odds aren't going to drop, I don't think. Like, yeah. Like, I don't think you're going to get better odds than 172, unless, like, Gronowski decides to opt out.
But I think he's going to play, and I want him to play.
Oh, Gronowski will definitely play.
Oh, no, I meant Pavia.
Oh, yeah. A couple of other just news about the season. So Ferentz we talked about this a lot like last week.
And I think it was literally like a day later.
The next day he came out and was like, I'm planning to stay.
Yeah.
I'll put this in the link dump.
He specifically said that like he was
like, I feel good.
He feels good.
I think his quote was like, I'm 70 now and I don't feel much different than I did when I was 60. Like and one of the things he said is like, my wife said it was fine. So like,
gotta love that. He's even just asking his wife. And he's 70 years old and coaching for 20 plus years.
Yeah. And at this point you almost think like his contract does expire in 2027. Does he's just planning to stay to the end of the contract?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be shocked if that's the plan.
Percy, you will be locked up if you try to go into the tree.
Is he going for the tree again? Did you not learn your lesson? Oh, there he goes. No, sir. No, sir.
Well, sorry about that. Had to put the cats in timeout.
Cat intermission.
How far into the Ferentz recap were we?
Oh, I didn't really say anything. Just like...
no, he said that he said he was staying.
There's a video from a press conference where he talks about how he plans on staying. I'll put that in the link dump. And I kind of think at this point he might just stay through 2027. This is when his contract's up. So like this year, next year. Wow, that's only this year, next year. That's crazy. Yeah. I remember it was like 2022 when he got that extension. It was like, no way he stays that long. That's forever. And now we're like, it makes sense.
Yeah. It's like, it's another 2 years with Kirk. Like,
yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if like we talked about, like he might do like 3 more years for like one more if like these quarterbacks that we have, you really pick one, you put them on a 3-year cycle. He might do like these 2 years, do a 1-year contract or something to finish out that guy's senior year, and then maybe call it after that.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if he's here past 2028.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just makes sense. Like, and I do think we've talked about it before. I do think,
and I'm not like
if
worried
he
about
goes, Phil Parker goes, and I do think if Phil Parker goes, he goes. Like, I think it's kind of like, I do wonder if
Phil's
it's
pretty much said he'll stay until Kirk's done. Like he's pretty much said like, I'll stay as long as Kirk's here, and like if Kirk wants to call it quits a little early, he might. Especially like, I'm not super worried because we do have this succession plan in place. It kind of seems like with Seth Wallace, I'm not like, I always been good about that, especially in the football program, about like just going to the next guy up, and we've been successful with that. Yeah. So like, I'm okay trying that out
except
again.
For Brian.
Yeah, well, that wasn't really next guy up. That was a hire, but not a good one either. But yeah, I think like if Kirk calls it quits and feels like I got 2 more years in me, and Wallace takes over, I think he'd be fine staying with Wallace for 2 years. But like, both Phil and Kirk, their time is nearing an end.
Yeah. Which we'll when that day comes, we'll be sad about it, because I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then the other good season recap news. So PFF All-America team, Iowa is the highest in the country with 4 guys who made it. 3 of them, obviously, linemen. Yeah. Bo Stevens, Logan Jones at the center, and then Cade Piper. And then, honestly, shocked Jennings Dunker didn't make it, but that's such a strong position this year.
It is funny because like he is the highest rated draft prospect out of them, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Jennings Dunker is, and he's the one that's not.
Yeah, it kind of shifts up between Jennings Dunker and Logan honestly Jones? Proctor's pretty high on that list too for that position.
Oh, I meant just the Iowa offensive line.
Oh, for the Iowa offensive line, yes, he is the highest. Yeah, he's a projected 1st-round pick, and I think Logan Jones is probably a projected 2nd-round pick, and then I think the other guys are probably like late 2nd, early 3rds.
Yeah.
And then the other guy who made the team obviously is at punt returner Caden Weechen.
Yeah. And this is just PFF. This isn't like the official.
Yeah,
like,
these aren't official ones. These are just the PFF ones.
And honestly, I'm not surprised because PFF has had Iowa rated offensive linemen rated like number 1 every single week. Yes. So it makes sense.
Weechen though, 95.5 punt return grade this season, which is the highest ever by a player in the PFF era.
I'm gonna just laugh so hard when he doesn't win the award. Like
There's no shot,
dude. That's just, but these awards make no sense.
Yeah, like, but this one is like, there's not even like a good close second. There's no shot in my mind that he doesn't win it.
Oh, I mean, I think he obviously should make it.
I would be blown away.
It makes 0 sense for them not to give it to him.
Yeah,
but there's like these awards.
Shit happens.
These awards are ridiculous. So,
and then the other thing I just found now, before I'm just gonna preface this with like, it's really easy to cherry pick your stats to make yourself look good. Like
I work on I work in graphics for using like stats, and all we do is handpick stats.
Yeah,
like,
to
Bears,
make whoever you need to look good.
Bears, Blackhawks, Bulls, like whatever game we're on, we're just handpicking like, okay, well, if we choose minimum 12 starters, if you do 12 starts,
if you do
minimum,
only games between 45 degrees and 56 degrees.
Yeah. Technically, Spencer Knight is the number 1 American goalie in save percentage, but you have to have this caveat.
West of the Mississippi.
Yeah. It's very baseball stats of it all.
But for the final top 25 poll, it is how many bowl eligible teams each team in the top 25 beat. So Iowa is tied at the top for 7 with who is that?
Oregon,
USC, Oklahoma, Oregon, and USC. After that, you have 6 is BYU, Ohio State, Alabama, Arizona, Michigan, Georgia Tech, and then everyone else is down there.
Indiana's at 4.
Indiana is at 4, and Ole Miss is at 3, which is kind of shocking.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about like our record against teams that are ranked versus teams with a winning record, but I mean, you played 7 bowl eligible teams, and granted, lost to 4 of them.
Yeah.
But they weren't just any bowl eligible teams. Yeah. Let me point that out. One of them, well, actually, fun fact. So 2 of the ones that we played are at the top with us with 7 teams on their schedule: Oregon, USC, and Iowa. The 3 of us are all in that top category.
Yeah. Well, it's just funny because, like, again, this goes back to, like, we talk about how, like, there shouldn't be top 25 for the first, like, 3-4 weeks, 5 weeks.
There absolutely should.
Like, there shouldn't be, like, Iowa State's like top 25 win was against, I can't remember who it was, but like they're like 500 now.
Yeah.
The top 25 team they beat. Like,
you know what honestly reinforced that for me so much recently is how well it works in basketball, because like Michigan started out the season like 9 or 10 or something, and then they just absolutely decimated all their opponents by like 20 points, and they've gone up the ranks so quickly. And they're a lot like people are whoever's voting, these AP poll journalists, they seem much more willing to jump teams that don't lose at the basketball poll than they do in the football poll.
Yeah.
Which part of that I get that, because there are only 12 games in a football season, so it's hard to justify dropping someone without losing a game. Whereas in basketball, there's a lot of games throughout the year. Pretty much everyone's going to lose at least one eventually. So like how quickly Michigan rose to the ranks. So I'm like, okay, this system works for basketball. Yeah. And I feel like people need to be more willing to do that in the football poll. Just be like, okay, we got this one wrong. We're going to just reevaluate that,
Yeah.
Like that just needs, Yeah,
I mean, we're about to get into it. So.
Yeah, we're about to get into the playoffs. Well, before we do that, though, really quick, part of another reason that I've been thankful for Kirk and the stability that he's brought recently is obviously probably everybody has heard Matt Campbell to Penn State. That was a crazy 24 hours, because it was like Matt Campbell's gone. No, he's not. Yes, he is. And my favorite part about that was like the official, like, what's his name? Who's the guy who Pete Thamel? The guy who makes all the tweets.
Oh, Thamel sounds right.
Yeah, it's like, so like he tweets out like officially like Matt Campbell to Penn State, and he's like the one where like when he tweets it, it's official, even though it's not like official. Yeah, and it's like he tweets out like Campbell's gone, and then before Penn State announces Campbell, Iowa State announces their new coach. Like the official Iowa State account announced the Jimmy Rogers hire.
I didn't know that.
Like 20 minutes after it came out that Campbell was going to Penn State. Like it was like immediate.
Hey, good for them. They had it already lined up.
Yeah, it seems like he's going to be a decent hire. He's the Wazoo coach. Which fun fact, this was his first year at Wazoo. He went 6-6, but they had a raw deal obviously with the Pac-12.
Yeah.
He's Gronowski's old coach though at SDSU, which is
I think
very funny.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. And that's a good hire for them. I mean, Iowa State has good hires, which is frustrating.
I'm kind of shocked they didn't just promote Mouser, their OC, because I feel like that would be their best bet at retaining some of their players. And he seems like he'd be a good coach too.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I don't know. Like,
it seems like a good hire, though.
I to be honest, as I just said, like I trust their AD to make the right decisions.
Yeah.
Because like they haven't really
fun
missed.
Fun fact about that. He is very good at making hires with with obviously Otzelberger too.
Yeah.
A like great basketball hire. Turned that program around from like I think they didn't win a Big 12 game, and then they hired Otzelberger and they won the Big 12. Like,
because they went. I mean, they had like what is it, Hoiberg? Right?
No, Hoiberg was a while ago. They had
was Hoiberg
Steve Prohm.
Yeah,
it was Steve Prohm. Which fun fact? Steve Prohm announced the Maryland game, the Iowa-Maryland game.
Oh, really?
It was really weird. He was one of the announcers. I didn't even realize he wasn't announcing.
Yeah.
But fun fact about Jamie Pollard: there's a lot of rumors coming out that like Campbell didn't want to leave Iowa State, but Pollard is. There's rumors that the coaches there are not happy with the way that he's handling NIL, and that they're gonna lose. That the reason Campbell left is because he's mad about the way that NIL got handled, and that they're also worried now that odds might be on the way out too in the next few years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's a lot with the AD that these are all rumors. Obviously,
yeah.
I have no sources or substance to back any of this.
Which I found interesting, just with how all of that works. They pretty much lost $2.5 million in this whole ordeal.
They did, yeah, because Campbell's buyout was $2 million, and then Jimmy Rogers' buyout at Wazoo was $4 million, so they were down $2 million on the buyout.
Why would
He was a first year on. It was his first year on his contract, so it's gonna have a higher buyout. So, fun fact: they restructured Campbell's contract last year, and it cut his buyout from like $6 million to $2 million because he'd been there for 10 years, and like it was like a loyalty thing where they cut his buyout down, and then he leaves that. I think that's kind of coincidental more than anything, but like it does. They got burned on it like bad. And then obviously also turned down a bowl game because they have no coach and probably not a lot of players left right now either. And so they got fined $500K by the Big 12 for turning on a bowl game.
Yeah. Iowa State went out and killed Purdue at Purdue, and it was right after they lost like Campbell. And I was like, to be honest, like fuck Iowa State, but I was like, that's good for them. I did feel bad.
There was like a comment in the Reddit thread where they were like, it was like, damn, Iowa State, what did Purdue do to you? And something like the top reply was like, he's like, I'll live with you. There's probably a little bit of misplaced aggression here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I mean, I actually saw that and I was like, okay, like this is the one time I don't really care that Iowa State killed like a really good team because like they were hurt and like
no, that was brutal.
At this point, they're not gonna have the resources that all these other any Big Ten team has.
No,
like,
Matt Campbell was that football program. I think a lot of the people who are like, why is this such a big deal? Either forget or don't realize how bad Iowa State was before Matt Campbell.
Yeah.
Like 6-6 was a great year for Iowa State before Matt Campbell.
Yeah.
Like,
and like, I don't want to be like, yeah, like it's nice to see Iowa State not do well, but like it's good for the rivalry if they're good.
As
like,
much as it is as a fan, you're kind of like,
I don't want
Iowa
a little bit
of sick pleasure in it. It's like at the end of the day, it is better for like the rivalry and honestly for Iowa if Iowa State is a good team.
Yeah.
I want them to be not as good as us, but
no, I still want us to win every year, but us win like 30-27.
Yeah, I want them to win a lot of their games after we beat them.
Yeah.
Then the other big coaching news, which this one is still. The rumor mill is still churning on this one because this happened. This happened yesterday.
Yeah, all happened within like the second half of the day yesterday, pretty much.
Yeah, like around like 5 o'clock, I think it first came out. Sherone Moore fired from Michigan. About 20 minutes later, it came out that he was fired with cause for allegedly having inappropriate relations with a staffer. Is I think the statement that Michigan put out.
It wasn't like a staffer that was been there for a while. Like it was like a 19, 20-year-old. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And then about 2 hours after that, I got another ESPN alert comes through that he was arrested. It didn't say why at first. It sounds like it was on assault charges.
Yeah, it sounded like something. Obviously, we won't go into it too much.
Yeah, we don't want to like dive in too much with just the rumors here because there's a lot of rumors.
And it also went from like he did something wrong with like he has a wife, whatever.
Yeah, like he ruined his own life.
Yeah,
and then
but then it kind of turned a little dark with some of the rumors that's out there, and we don't want to really get into like if the rumors are true or not.
What is like confirmed is that he was arrested, and he was arrested on assault charges. They did confirm that, and it is pretty much confirmed that he broke into the house of the mistress. What went down after that is kind of still up in the air.
But the fact he did that and they kind of.
And then I think he's currently in like a mental health facility. They put him in.
It's literally the last 24 hours.
Yeah,
crazy.
It was insane. Yeah. Like it came out like the news, like Sherone Moore was on fire, and it was kind of like, this is really funny. This is great college football content. And then the more that kept coming out, it was just like, this is getting less funny.
Yeah, like I think I literally said a little earlier. I was like, it went from that's funny or whatever.
Yeah, like
and
this is like fun content.
This is fun content, and it just got darker and darker.
Yeah,
and like I was like, fuck, like
yeah. There's also a lot of rumors that like Michigan knew about this a while ago and they just chose to do something about it now after they didn't make the playoffs, stuff like that. But
he really went from like, oh, like damn, like this dude fucked up his life, and then he's
aware of that
fucked
now.
up my life, and that's
I'm very curious to see where Michigan goes from here. There's another tweet that got put out that seems like it's a leak from inside Michigan where they were like, the Michigan AD knew that he was in a sensitive spot. It brought him into his office with no like HR people present, alone, told him that he'd lost his job. And they're like, it kind of seems like almost now they're like, well, we lost more. We're probably going to have a rough year next year. And they're kind of running like a smear campaign against their AD because a lot of fans and boosters have wanted the AD gone for a while now.
Isn't he the one? Isn't he kind of the reason that Harbaugh went to the NFL?
Probably.
They did not have a good relationship.
Yeah. There's it kind of seems like they might just clean house at this point. Obviously it's
which is just crazy because they won the fucking national championship 2 years
ago. And then, I mean, they were good this year. They finished fourth in the Big Ten, I think. They finished right in front of us. I think it was, or no.
They were in third. No, USC.
USC was in fourth. It was Oregon, USC, Michigan, us, I think.
Well,
or us, Michigan.
Indiana,
Ohio State, Oregon, USC was top four.
Okay, so Michigan was 5 then us.
It was either us and then Michigan or Michigan and then us. I don't remember how the tiebreakers played out.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, two-loss season, I guess, because they went undefeated non-con. No, yeah.
We'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
I mean, just so many levels because there's not many options for them.
No.
Because of course this happens. Like it is bad. Like
there's a lot of jokes that are like they're gonna hire Campbell.
Yeah.
I saw somebody be like, this news broke and all the coaches that just hired or that just signed contracts are wondering if the ink's dried yet, or like if there's anything actually official.
Well, maybe like the BYU coach that turned down Penn State. Maybe he's like, maybe Michigan.
I saw someone said that like it would be the funniest outcome of this would be like DeBoer to Michigan and then Kiffin to Alabama.
Yeah, no, I saw that too. I saw a few things that were like DeBoer to Michigan.
Yeah,
and then he knows the Big Ten better.
I think everyone's aware that like Kiffin's dream job is Alabama, and like it kind of seems like he's slowly worked his way into places he wants to be more and more, and it is LSU and then Alabama. So like the only place he'd probably go from LSU is Alabama, and it'd be funny if that happened immediately.
Do you know, I think would be the funniest outcome? Urban Meyer comes out of retirement.
Crazy. There's no shot he would do that.
No.
Phillip Rivers and Urban Meyer in the same week.
Exactly. No, exactly.
That'd be wild. A lot more has happened, but all of that kind of revolves around the final college football playoff bracket is out. Obviously Indiana beats Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game, that was a phenomenal game.
That was awesome. That I wanted Indiana to win so badly.
Yeah,
I
did too.
Dude, the fact that like I know all these people are like, don't think your team can do what Indiana does because it's so ridiculous. But I'm like,
yes.
But now I'm like, we can do it.
that's bold.
I'm like, we can do it. If Indiana can do it,
somebody asked,
anyone can fucking do it. Indiana is the losingest program in.
They were. Now it's who is it? Is it Rutgers now?
Yeah,
or something? I don't know.
I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were the losingest program in NCAA history.
Yeah, wherein they had lost the most games, not had the worst record. Yeah. They had the most losses.
And they turned around. Like, again, I've said it plenty of times on this podcast. I have like good friends went to Indiana who like even 2 years ago did not give a shit about football. They did not care about football at all.
No.
And now they won a Big Ten championship and are number 1 seed going into the college football play. It's wild. I love it.
There was a great like a thread or something that was like, why is Indiana suddenly so good? Is it Signetti or is it the NIL sphere? And somebody was like, honestly, it's the perfect storm where they have Mark Cuban backing them with a lot of money and they got a really good coach. And it's like it's like if they only had one or the other, they would probably still be good, but they would not be this good.
There's also like another, it's like Mark Cuban and someone else. And
I mean, all you need is Mark Cuban.
Well, no, I know, but my friend was explaining this to me. He's like, oh, like what's awesome is that it's Mark Cuban and someone else.
Yeah.
It's also like a billionaire and they hate each other. So they just crazy. Are trying to one up each other, which is obviously awesome for them.
Going back for a second, that's something I forgot to mention with the whole Matt Campbell Penn State thing. Part of that whole carousel was because of Penn State was like going after the BYU coach.
Yeah.
And the BYU coach was retained because the guy who owns Famous Amos, the cookies, like the store-bought cookies, is a big BYU booster. And he apparently negotiated a very big raise for the BYU coach. And so a lot of the people in like the thread where like Matt Campbell got hired were like, for those goddamn cookies.
Wasn't for Famous Amos.
It was really funny.
That is good.
Yeah, but Indiana gets the number 1 seed. Ohio State, I think rightfully, only drops to the 2 seed. Yeah. I mean, they were both undefeated. Your only loss is to the number 1 seed.
And you miss a field goal.
Yeah, it was it was like a blowout. It was a close game.
It was like a 28-yard field goal or whatever. Like you can't be missing that. So they pretty much just lost off of that.
Yeah. And also, it was very funny that the Indiana kicker missed like a chip shot earlier in the game, and then the Ohio State kicker missed the chip shot to. Well,
did you see the Ohio State kicker in pregame? They like put out on like TikTok or whatever. They're like, oh, like he warms up like this, and he's like on the side and he's kicking it, and he's aiming for the pole.
Yeah.
So it's better accuracy.
Interesting.
And then he goes out and misses.
That is something that I've always thought is weird about college football, though. Is the chip shots are actually way harder in college football because the hashes are wider than they are in the NFL.
Yeah.
So in the NFL, your hashes are lined up with the upright. So pretty much wherever you are on the field, you're pretty much kicking it straight. Whereas in college, when you have those closer chip shots, you actually have to kick it at an angle, and so you have a lot shorter, like the
you
upright.
Hook it a lot easier. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's something I've actually never understood. Honestly, I've never understood about the NFL. I think it's better, especially now that they've changed like the kicking ball and that people are drilling kicks from so much further. Widen the hashes and make kicking a little bit harder.
Make it a little harder. Like I don't want it's interesting. Like it's fun to see a kicker hit like a 60-yarder.
Yeah.
But like they get it at the like 30 or whatever. You go 15 yards and you can kick a fucking field goal.
I like the wide hashes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the wide hashes. It adds an extra element to the game. That is, I also saw a clip on TikTok the other day. This is way off topic. It was a Canadian football clip. The one thing about Canadian football, I get there's different rules. That's all fine and dandy,
I think
whatever.
where you're going with this.
The uprights being at the front of the end zone is the most absurd, insane thing ever. That is so dangerous. One. Number two, I want to know how many times, like, you got to pass around the uprights. Like, that's so funny. I was wondering, the reason I bring this up is because I saw this TikTok and like you just see the uprights at the front of the end zone. You're like, there they are. And I was wondering, like, is it legal to run like a pick play using the upright to score a touchdown? Yeah. Like, I want to become an offensive coordinator for Canadian football, and I want to design an entire goal line set around using the upright as like a pick object. And just like see if you can run trick plays, like try to hide somebody behind the upright and then have them break out. Like, I feel like there's so much fun shit
the
you could do with
purposely throws it right at the bar. Like,
yeah, bounce. Is it a dead ball if it hits the bar? Do you think, or is it like if it hits the bar and stays in play? Is it a live ball?
Yeah, that's very interesting. I don't know. There's also a weird play. I don't know what it is, but it's like if you kick a field goal.
Yeah, I forget what the name of it is. It's 1 point.
It's still like 1 point.
As long as you get it to the end zone, it's 1 point. Yeah, so you can walk off on a missed field goal.
That's so odd.
There's a name for it, which that rule is actually changing this year. They're changing a lot of Canadian football rules. I can't find it. There's a name for it, but it's gone this year or next year because
that's just stupid.
They're actually becoming very like way more similar to like American football rules.
I mean, honestly, if they want more players to get recruited to the NFL, like they should do that.
But I think that their bread and butter is like the
kind of
players who didn't make the NFL. And honestly,
I'm just saying for them, they're thinking playing Canadian football. They're like, like if I prove
they want to compete against the American market more.
Yeah,
which I get. I will say, and I take this with a grain of salt because I'm saying this as somebody who does not watch Canadian football. Yeah. So like, maybe this opinion means nothing. I like that it's different. It's fun. It's a little bit different. It's fun.
No, I like that. I always like stuff like that.
Anyway, we should go back to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 4 seed Texas Tech, number 3 seed Georgia, obviously. Then you have Tulane and JMU are the get in because Duke beats Virginia in the ACC championship.
Crazy. That game was crazy too.
Yeah, that was a crazy game.
Virginia almost pulled it off.
Duke was like up by like 2 or 3 touchdowns, and then Virginia came back,
and then they scored with like 10 seconds. It was like they scored under 30 seconds left to tie it.
Yeah. Well, didn't they get it? They take the lead and then Duke tied it.
Oh, maybe it was that.
They took the lead, then Duke went down and scored with like a couple seconds left to tie it.
I have to look back at that.
They just ended up kicking the field goal instead of going for 2.
And then like in overtime they scored, and then I think Virginia threw a pick.
You're right. It was Virginia scored. Duke got the ball back with like 40 seconds left, and they chose not to take a shot to go get a field goal. They just kneeled it out. And I was like, why would you not go try to kick a field goal? But I mean, worked out for them.
Worked out. That is kind of crazy. Like you win the Big 12 the Big 12 or ACC, sorry, ACC championship, and you don't make the playoff.
Yeah,
and another ACC team does. The fact that Miami wasn't in it to begin with is crazy.
Yes. So let's talk about that for a sec. Well, actually, real quick. So obviously the other two teams, Ole Miss,
the playoff,
Kiffinless, coachless Ole Miss, and then Oregon. So the three. The last 3 in are Notre Dame, Miami, Alabama. I'm sure at this point, as everybody knows, it ends up being Miami and Alabama. What you're saying, though, I think if Virginia wins that game, Miami does not make it, and Notre Dame is in the playoff.
But Virginia would be. I think Virginia.
But JMU would not be then.
Yeah, I think that's what.
So then Notre Dame would be.
Because who is the? Because it's the top 4 ranked.
It's the top 4 ranked conference champions. So the fact that Duke wins the ACC with 5 losses, they're lower ranked than JMU. Yeah. So JMU gets it over them.
So Virginia would have been
replaced JMU. Yeah. And I think at that point, obviously, Notre Dame gets in because I don't think that they jump Miami with Virginia in, because I think that the only reason they jumped Miami is because they were like, we can't not have an ACC team in the playoff. Which I get. Now, okay, this being said, the one complaint that I think that Notre Dame fans are warranted in having is if you're going to give it to Miami in the last week, why have we been ranked ahead of them all this time? which I agree with.
I do agree with
and
that.
I have seen some fans, like Notre Dame fans, that are like, honestly, this is probably the right bracket. The problem with it is that Miami should have been ranked ahead of us the whole time, and they weren't. And it really feels like a rug pull that in the very last week they say, actually, no. Yeah. That's the one thing I will give them.
Yeah, they almost like set it up perfectly. Like, to just make sure like 5 SEC team get it, like a certain amount of each conference gets in. That's kind of what it felt like.
Because the logic that the committee used is it was Notre Dame, BYU, Miami, right? And then they're saying, well, BYU lost, so they got dropped. All of a sudden, you now have Notre Dame and Miami side by side. When you look at Notre Dame and Miami's stats, they are almost identical. And honestly, Miami's strength of schedule is hurt because they beat Notre Dame. And so their strength of schedule is lower because Notre Dame has a loss to Miami. And when they're identical side by side, you have to give it to Miami. Yeah, I agree. They should have just been they beat them head to head. There's just, at the end of the day, if you want to be in the playoffs, beat Miami and you're in the goddamn playoffs.
Yeah.
There have been some insane takes by Notre Dame fans on the internet, and it's kind of very fun to watch.
I think, I don't know if I probably have said my thoughts on Notre Dame, but I love that they are just melting down.
It's very funny.
I do not like Notre Dame. I do not like their fans.
I think they should. I'm not even going to say I think they should join a conference. I get that, like, it's like their thing is traditional. Yeah. It's like sure. I do think if they're not going to join a conference, they have to accept the fact that they have a harder road to the playoff than teams that are in a conference. That's just how it goes. Yeah. And it's how it's going to be. And honestly, it's how it should be, because it's either you have a little bit of a harder road or you're getting special treatment that other teams aren't getting. And I don't think it should be the special treatment route.
Of course not.
There's not really a way to make it fair, because the other thing is that they're saying, oh, really? Like, they're saying, yeah, we get Miami should be in over us, but the team that we should be in over is Alabama. I do get where they're coming from that.
Or JMU and Tulane.
I mean, but those are just auto bids. It's hard to.
But I've seen a lot of people argue like that. Well, that's a whole thing. But like people are like,
there is like talk to change the rules because of this. Yeah.
But I think, well, one, the whole Alabama thing's funny because it's like,
I do get they have 3 losses,
but it's like you punish BYU for losing in their championship game, and then you don't punish
think that they necessarily did, though. Because here's what I think it is. I think that the rule that the committee follows is that you can improve your resume with your conference championship game, but you can't hurt it. And BYU was not in before their conference championship game.
That's fair.
So if they win the game, they make it in. If they don't win, they stay where they are. But where they were is not in the playoffs.
I mean, I still don't think BYU should have made it, because I think that you had 2 chances. To beat the same team, and you lost.
I think it's fine to leave BYU out.
Like,
if they win the game, they're in. If they don't, they're out. That's fair.
You've proven twice that you couldn't beat a team in the playoff. Yeah. And the whole point of the playoff is having the best teams. If you had 2 chances, 2 tries at it, and you couldn't beat them either time, you don't deserve to be in it. I'm sorry.
Like, as much as I want to say, just like, fuck Alabama, they shouldn't be in the playoff. I completely agree with the not punishing teams for the conference championship game, because otherwise you're going to ruin conference championship games. If you leave Alabama out of the playoff, the SEC does not play a conference championship game next year.
But then the question becomes, if Miami was in that championship game instead of Virginia, per se,
and they lose, are they out? That is a great question.
They're probably out.
That is a good point.
Because Virginia would be in this if they won.
Yeah.
So it's a whole like shit show.
Okay.
Like
this is a perfect segue. I have a solution to this. If you go into our drive, actually, I made a graphic for this that I will put this graphic in the link dump, and I'll actually probably put it up on screen too, because it's better than the poster board. But the poster board will be a better visual. Here's my solution to this. I brought a visual aid. Where is it? All right. Here we go. Here's my solution to fix the college football playoffs once and for all. Week 14, we move rivalry week up 1 week, okay? Week 14 becomes a conference flex game. So this year, here's your brackets for the conference flex game. You have Indiana plays USC at the 4, or the 1 and the 4. OSU plays Oregon, 2 and the 3. Higher seed home. The rest of the conference, the rest of the conferences, you go 5 plays 6, 7 plays 8, all the way down to fix like the home and away, because it is taking a home game away from people potentially. You're going to have to, it's going to be a flex game. You're not going to know who's home right away. Just try to balance it out. You don't have to do the higher seed home for the rest of the conference. Try to make it 50-50. Everybody gets one every other year about. You have to fix that. Championship weekend, then you have a play-in game to your conference championship game, right? 4 teams in every conference get a shot at the championship game. Fixes things like the tiebreakers in the SEC a little bit. Top 4 conferences, Big 10, Big 10, SEC, Big 12, ACC, all of this 4-team playoff bracket. Then you have your group of 6 down here. They play a group of 6 6-team playoff, right? You take your rankings, just college football rankings, whoever's the highest, 2 get a bye. You have a 6-team playoff into this point right here, right? Obviously, all the winners of the championship games, you get an auto bid into the playoffs, okay? And then you take the 2 highest teams that lost their conference championship game. So just going off of the results on the field this year, if it played out exactly how it did this year, that would be Ohio State and Alabama. They have a play-in game down here, right? So from here, you have a 6-team college football playoff, okay? So after championship week, the very next week, you play your play-in games, which is going back. Your play-in games would be, if everything plays out as it is, Tulane versus JMU and Ohio State versus Bama, right? Winners of those games then get reseeded for the playoff, okay? 6-team playoff, first round on December 20th, the following weekend. Second round, this round right here, is going to be your New Year's Day, New Year's Six games, right? And then the championship is the following weekend. This year would be on the 10th. Wraps up college football earlier. You can finally fix a little bit of your transfer portal and your coaching carousel issues. You have play-ins get reseeded, 6-team playoff all the way to the beginning. And then you have, obviously, okay, so these two would be like, say, the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl. You can rotate the bowls every year. Then you take from, there's 10 teams at that point who have played in the conference playoffs. You take them, you fill out the other 4 New Year's Six bowls. It makes conference championship games relevant. It makes teams want to care and they want to win because you have at least a bye, potentially a double bye if you win your conference championship game. If you lose it, you still have 2 teams that have a shot. You could maybe rearrange it to give 4 teams a shot. I don't think you need to.
No.
You're already giving 4 teams in every conference a shot.
Yeah.
It reinvigorates college conference championship games. I think it reinvigorates the bowl games because you have teams that know you're in the top 4. You lost. You have no complaints to make the playoff. You had your shot to make the playoff. And then you have really good matchups in those New Year's Six bowls, as opposed to them just being like one team playing in 3 New Year's Six bowls because they're all playoff bowls right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my solution. That's how we fix the playoffs once and for all.
I did not know about this. I love it. I really fuck with that.
I got really bored the other night, and I made this graphic.
I like it. The graphic looks really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we should put this on like.
I'll put it on Reddit or something.
We'll just put like on our socials, just like on Instagram, and put it on and just be like, "What do you guys think?"
I want to start this campaign. I want to get this campaign going. I want to change the whole format.
I do fuck with this
because I also imagine how fun it would be to watch Maryland and Purdue battle it out week
for like
14
the least, the worst. No,
that'd be such a good game.
I've kind of heard people talking about this kind of flex like last few weeks, and I actually really like it because I think that's the biggest problem right now is you don't know we don't really know what to think about the conference championship games anymore, and who should be in the conference championships game? Why the hell was Duke in the fucking conference championship and not Miami?
Exactly, and fixes this a little bit with these conferences that are so big where it comes down to dumb tiebreakers. You have 4 teams that have a shot instead of 2.
Yeah, and there's always going to be like teams that are going to complain. They didn't get the right shot, but it's like in this way, bit of that. It's like, all right, if you really could not make the playoff or the final, in this,
you just have to be top 4 in your country, and then you have your path.
Yeah, you weren't. And where would Notre Dame be?
So Notre Dame would have to be, I would say, in maybe not the top 6, but like the top 8, and they would go in that play-in spot where Ohio State and Alabama would play this year if everything goes according to this. And I think that's fair because Notre Dame would have to play 1 less game. They could still get into that spot if they're ranked high enough. You could do it potentially if they're ranked higher than one of the 2 teams that qualifies for that spot from the losing of the conference championship games. I think that if like you have some upsets and you happen to have like 12 and 14 in that play-in game and Notre Dame is like 10, I still think they should have to be like top 8 or something to be able to make it.
Yeah.
That's not up for me to decide though.
No, I really like this.
As if I'm not deciding all of this.
It's okay. We'll get big. We'll get big enough that we'll be the decision makers.
There you go. Yeah. It gives everybody.
I have a sports and rec management major.
There you. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. I just think it takes away so many complaints because you can't complain if you weren't top 4 in your conference that you didn't get a shot at the playoffs. Yeah. And if you are top 4 in your conference, you have your path. And if you lose, you don't make it in.
Yeah.
The only place that I think it would really give complaints is for that play-in game. Because that is just come down to committee ranking as things normally do.
Yeah.
The other thing, I guess, potentially is like this year, obviously a very down year in the ACC, elevating another conference. So like it could also be potentially top 4 teams in each conference. You take their average ranking, and the top 4 average ranked conferences, they do the play-in, and then the bottom 6 average ranked conferences.
See, that's not bad. Yeah. That's not a bad. That's kind of like what soccer does with the Champions League, where if you're the higher, like they have like a whole system of like, right, if you're the higher rated league, then you get an extra.
You get an extra spot. Spot. Yeah.
So, I like that. I like that idea.
And I think this also even fixes things where like the whole Duke ordeal this year, where it's like, oh, Duke has 5 losses. Like, should they have really even had a shot to win the ACC? But I think that if you put if Duke wins a national championship by beating Miami, Virginia, Georgia, Indiana, Texas Tech, like if they beat all those teams with 5 losses, you probably still deserve a national championship.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. And it's also gonna make these like weeks matter more. It's gonna be that's a good way to like kind of pitch it. Is like this is going to create more viewership for those games.
I think that every game matters a little bit more.
Yeah, from it also week 14 removes, on, they matter so much more.
There's not 2 group of 6 beatdowns now against JMU and Tulane. There's potentially 1 because the group of 6 have to qualify against each other. One of them makes it.
Yeah. And that'd be a fun game because I do like the idea. Like we kind of went away from it for a little bit, but I want there to be a group of 6 teams in it. I
agree. I completely agree.
Yeah. Hypothetically, these 2 teams chances are they get killed. Both.
Yeah.
But that's not like how it's going to be every year.
It's like the UCF situation.
They get a chance. There's 12 as of now. There's 12 teams in the playoff.
Yeah.
If you're not in the top 12, I'm sorry, you didn't win enough games.
Agreed. Yeah.
I think those 2 teams deserve a shot. Why not? If you're not a top 10 team, you don't get win your damn games, man.
Like most years, probably that group of 6 team is not going to have a real legitimate shot. But that rule is in place to prevent something like that UCF year where it's like if they do potentially have a shot to win those games, they deserve to have that shot, and this gives them that shot.
Yeah.
And if they lose, if they get beat by 60, they get beat by 60. But it gives them that shot that they deserve. You know?
It's fun to see these teams that are, aren't Power 5, Power 4, or whatever. Like it's fun to see them play against like even if they get killed, like what if they don't? And it just gives like a different spice.
What if they don't is the reason that those games get played.
Like to be honest, like I don't really care if I see another like, if one of these went to a Notre Dame and Notre Dame loses by 10 or something.
Yeah.
Like I would have rather watched Tulane.
Yeah, I would rather see them get their shot. Agreed. Completely. Yeah.
That's just how I am. I know other people will disagree. I know people are like, right, it should just be the top 12 ranked teams. Like that's just what it should be. Clean and simple. And then it's like, well, I don't know.
I disagree because it's like you have that team in like this year's a bad example because Tulane and JMU I think both have 2 losses.
Yeah.
But like you get that team that is a group of 6 strikes gold undefeated.
Power 4 team they lost by like 20.
Yeah.
So I do get it. But again,
Tulane,
I would rather.
I think beat Illinois. Did they not?
I don't think Illinois. They beat someone else.
I think they beat Northwestern.
Tulane did beat like a Power 4 team.
Yeah, I'll put this bracket in the link dump. I'll probably put it on screen too. There's games every week, and you still, I think you get your buys. The teams that deserve their buys get their buys, or you have to play every week. If you lose a game, you got to play every week. Get over it.
Well, they did beat ACC champion Duke.
They did beat Duke. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So they might have lost by 35 to Ole Miss, but. They did beat the ACC champs.
Ole Miss doesn't have a coach anymore, so that can go either way.
That's another thing. Should they even be in it?
Yeah, I think with a 12-team playoff, that's the whole thing. Going back to the Florida State year, that was the big problem with the Florida State year.
That's why well,
the whole argument of like it should be the 4 best teams, I completely disagree with. It should be the 4 most deserving teams. Yeah, like that. Otherwise, it's just like. I don't really care if you suddenly got better at the end of the year. That's not what college football has ever been about. It's been about the team that strikes gold and they have 1 loss or no losses all year.
Yeah, they've proven it.
And like that's what makes it fun. You know, I don't care about how teams improve. Like show me you can do it the whole year. That's what makes you a national champion in my eyes.
I just can't wait for it's not gonna wait. So they already played Ole Miss.
Yes,
and then they're playing them again.
There's 2 rematches in the first round because I think JMU and Oregon also have already played.
I did not
Alabama,
realize
Oklahoma.
that.
Alabama, Oklahoma have already played, and Tulane and Ole Miss have already played.
I did not realize that. I don't know how I didn't realize that, but that they're playing.
Yeah. No, there's 2 rematches in the first round.
I just hope that one of those two, it probably won't happen, but I do hope one of those 2 teams go in and JMU or Tulane and just win.
I saw another.
Shut up all the haters. Like, just shut them all up. Like,
I really hope
that's the point of it's the point of this is like the what if. Like, what if they do win? They can.
One year, one of them will win, and it's going to be amazing. You know, it'll be talked about forever. Another thing that I saw people speculating with the playoffs is they've talked about a lot of times where, like, after every round, reseeding. I don't think that's a bad idea. The other thing they talked about is, like, should the number 1 seed just be able to choose their path? Because honestly, Georgia has the easiest shot to the championship game as the number 3 seed. Because if Indiana most likely has to play Alabama in their first game, Georgia has to play either a coachless Ole Miss or Tulane, and then they're playing either Miami, Texas A&M, or Ohio State. The easiest path is probably Georgia's path. And like, should you just be able to choose your spot? Like, because you would, like, you're the 1 seed, but the 3 seed has an easier shot at the championship.
Wasn't that how it was last year? Where like,
yeah, Penn State lost the Big Ten championship, and it gave them an easier path. Yeah.
I mean, at that point, I don't. I'm like, there shouldn't be like, oh, easy path or not. Like, you got to win to win like, you got to win against against good teams to win a national championship. So I'll always be like, people complain like agreed. It happens in, like, again, I'll come back to soccer. I don't know why it's like the thing popping in my head, but like, they'll always complain like, oh, during like some of these tournaments, like, oh damn, like they always get a bad draw. They're playing a good team early on in like this tournament, and I'm like, if they want to win the championship, like, you got to beat good teams. Like,
yeah, agreed. Because it's like people are always like, oh, like they get a bad first round draw or whatever. Like, if they lose that game and the other team that is also playing a Power 4 team 3 times wins all their games, they probably deserved it more. Yeah, you know, like that's exactly. Just what it. At the end of the day, it's gonna get sorted in like on the games on the field.
Yeah. Should we get into this BS about Notre Dame?
Yeah. Kind of our last point here. So Notre Dame misses the playoff, obviously.
They're crying their asses off right now.
Yes, and they opt out of their bowl game
because they're crying,
which is, I think, stupid as fuck.
Yeah. I will say I do get it. I think
I don't.
I think they're crybabies, but yeah. I do get it in the sense of like, they're going into it, you know, they won 10 in a row, and they're like, you know, in their minds they're like, all right, we're getting ready to play in a playoff. I know they didn't know that, but like, that's kind of like the mindset they've been playing. Like, all right, if we win out, we'll be in the playoff, yada yada yada. To kind of just got that taken away to play in like the Pop-Tart Bowl against another team that also kind of thought they were gonna make it and then didn't.
And I also get it. It's like a lot of people opt out of the bowl games and stuff like that.
And I think both those teams have had a lot of opt-outs if they played. I mean, again, you also don't want a Georgia-Florida State from when Florida State didn't make it.
Yeah,
I looked at that and I was like, I don't think Florida State should have. My fiance's my fiance went to Florida State, and she said we should have never played that game, which I agree.
And there were a lot of opt-outs.
There were a lot of opt-outs in that game, and it's a team that thought they were going to be in a playoff.
The thing is the players should play the bowl games. Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
That would have been an amazing game.
Yes.
Georgia with their players versus Florida State with all their players. Yeah. That would have been an awesome game.
It's hard to make them do that
because
the one thing I have seen where it's like you could technically write that into an NIL contract that if you make a bowl you have to play the bowl, because
I mean that was the whole thing of why they're opt-outs is they're like, well, I don't want to hurt myself and not make my millions. If you're already making your millions,
agreed. And like you could write that into the contract.
Well, like someone like Pavia, he might be actually he's probably making more money he is right now than he would playing if he goes undrafted.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, he's making more money in the NFL this year, or this year in college than he would have in the NFL for sure.
Yeah, I think that honestly should start being a thing.
The problem though is just it's a player's market, and it's like if we have a recruit coming into Iowa and we say we'll give you $1 million and in your contract you get to play the bowl game, and then Wisconsin says we'll give you $1 million and you don't have to play the bowl game, then they're going to go to Wisconsin. You know, it's such a competitive players market that it's like it's hard unless everybody unilaterally agrees like we're going to write bowl game participation into contracts. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and that's why I think I like the way that you're thinking with this new playoff. Because it makes bowl games more relevant.
It makes them a
little bit more relevant.
There's no if you make a New Year's Six bowl, there's 8 teams that are all good matchups, and they have no they can't have a complaint because all you have to do is win. Yep. If you would have won, you'd have been in.
Yeah,
like we said, Notre Dame fans are melting down. I just keep getting the Notre Dame subreddit up, like it was suggested to me, and I always click on it because it's just like the comments in that subreddit are just so insane, and they're all like
so biased,
so full of themselves, and it's just I hate it.
That's why
I really don't have beef with Notre Dame before this, and they're all like, "Oh, like I did see one comment in the Notre Dame subreddit that was really funny, where somebody was complaining of hitting downvote for something he said on the college football subreddit, and the top reply was just, "The college football subreddit right now is World War II, and we're the Germans." I was like, "That's really funny."
Good. So going off that, they're all crying and they're all freaking out, and then there's this whole stipend for next year.
Oh yeah,
explain it.
Schedule for oh yeah, well, okay, yes. Yeah. So I don't really understand this. So I googled this, and I have to Google it again now to remember what it is. They signed an MOU, which is a Memorandum of Understanding, which is a formal, non-binding document outlining mutual intentions, goals, and roles between two or more parties. Often as a precursor to a legally binding contract. So I don't know if this is something where it's like this is getting officially added, but
this would be absurd if it's officially added.
Starting next year, if Notre Dame is in the top 12 ranked, they're guaranteed a playoff spot, and they would jump the number 11 or 10 teams if auto bids make that happen.
So pretty much they would be in, I think, JMU spot.
No, because JMU would.
They'd be in Miami spot.
Yes, they would be in Miami spot. So if they're ranked number 12 and the four conference championship winners are not in the top 12. So if you have conference championship winners that are outside of the top 12, which one of them will always be, because it's 5, I guess, is the current structure. One of them will pretty much always be, because one of them will be a group of 6 team. So if they're number 12, they're pretty much always jumping the 11 team. If there's like this year, they would jump 2 teams potentially.
So they're just going to give it like.
And the addendum to this is that they expand to a 14-team playoff if they're ranked in the top 13, I believe. The same rule applies.
So just rules don't apply to Notre Dame, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's the same rules don't apply to Notre Dame. And that's why it's so funny that they're just crying right now.
Yeah.
Because then this came out and all of them, hi Percy, all of them were just like, kind of just like not saying anything.
Yeah. Their schedule next year is such a cakewalk. Like there's no shot they're undefeated next year. I don't understand how this happened or how they agreed to it. I really don't.
Ratings, money.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It's absurd.
That's the other thing. It's like all the Notre Dame fans calling for like, we should be in over Alabama. They lost their conference championship game, but you don't play a conference championship game. You don't have a shot to lose week 15, and that hurt you. Like you're only playing 12 games a year.
I also love the fact that they're like, oh, we should be in. Oh no, Percy, please don't. Another Percy intermission. But yeah, what I was gonna say is that boo-hoo, we don't get thought of for this, and like, oh, like, you know, don't tell us to be in a conference, and then complain about the Alabama thing, about the other conference champions in SMU or
I think they have no complaints,
JMU,
honestly, over Miami or Alabama, because they lost to Miami, and the thing with Alabama is it's like you guys don't have to play a conference championship game. Maybe if you had to play one, you would have lost it too.
And don't come at me with the whole like non-power 4 teams. Like y'all lost last year and made it still. Like
and I mean, it is funny that if Duke doesn't win that, they probably are in the playoff. Yeah. I think that's really funny, but I mean, that's just how it goes. Like just win your games. It doesn't matter. In the going back to the BCS era, which I know we had our complaints about the BCS era. Nobody would be. It was like that was very much like a. Nobody had a complaint because it's like, you didn't win your game. Very few years was there like warranted for somebody to have a complaint. Like one of the years could have been like 2009. If Iowa goes undefeated, we probably would have been left out for both Alabama and Texas, despite being undefeated. That's a complaint of the two team system. But nobody's going to complain about losing 2 games and not being able to make it. Yeah, it's just like that's college football's thing has always been. The regular season matters so much because there's only 12 games and you just got to win your games.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all we got for this week.
Like I said, I think this was mostly not about Iowa, but that's okay. Yeah, I think that's all I got though. This is Hawks Off Melrose. Give us a follow on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you're listening. Subscribe on YouTube. Give us a like. Rate us 5 stars. Check out the link dump, fishballsports.com/Hawks Off Melrose.
Check out our we're going to be coming out with a basketball pretty much right after the game, basketball game, we did a little, like, we call it what is it?
Hawkeye Express.
Hawkeye Express, yeah. So check that out if you guys like that.
Make a little train logo for that.
Yeah. If you guys like that kind of style, it's a little bit shorter than this, and just talking just quickly about the game, instant reaction.
Give us feedback. There's a contact page on our website. I don't know if I've actually looked at the email since I made the website, but feel free to shoot us an email there. I'll look at them. Everything will be in the link dump in the description. And I guess we'll probably be back. Probably not until the bowl game, I would imagine.
Yeah, maybe
there's no like basketball really either.
Maybe if there's like a lot of news with like the Iowa.
If suddenly everybody opts out, we might have to do an emergency one.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm Drew.
I'm Jeremy.
This is Hawks Off My Rose again. And we'll see you in January probably.
Yeah. See you in the new year.